Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off the Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
And away we go. Welcome to show number 2,839. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, D. Chad Smith, Robin Fox, and my cock. And you are in the men's room. On tap today, 19 days from Red Festival, Bachola.
Oh, it's kind of abrupt.
Random question is back. Your guess is as good as my category, Star Wars and American landmarks. We will review some men's room rules. Get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, the men's room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV time with Ted.
Clack, clack.
You're going to All right, here we go. Brave Crawdaddy wins the hearts of millions by crawling out of a boiling pot. Meanwhile, a Canadian policeman eating a Tim Hortons donut sees a glow, and driver gets caught. Oregon man on motorcycle loses life along with a bear that ran on the road. Dancing FBI agent forgets that his gun has a safety-type mode. And Dallas woman shoots husband for beating the cat. That's all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. Miles, how long did you debate cat or other? All right, for the last few weeks, we've all been subjected to the quote-unquote news story about a 30-year-old guy who was finally court-ordered to move out of his parents' home. Well, thanks to this idiot, the fine folks at the New York Post, they have now published 4 tips for kicking your deadbeat kid out of the house. Apparently, we need that. To be fair, the list, it should be one simple step. Teach your kids better. Now, we know it's impossible to be a perfect parent, but Miles and I, we expounded on the advice of never give up too much information if nobody asks. We went on this last week, and don't lie, but don't voluntarily incriminate yourself. There's a woman in Wisconsin. She never got this advice. She's 55 years old. She gets pulled over for drunk driving. She tells the cops she's offended that they even have the audacity to think she's drunk, when clearly she's high on crack cocaine. The bright side to her story was that she was not charged with drunk driving. There's another woman in Wisconsin. Maybe she just shouldn't have lied. She gets pulled over. She runs from the cops, leads them on a high-speed chase. They finally catch her. Well, instead of not offering up some additional information, she just straight up lied and said, I know it seems like it was me. It was probably my doppelganger. These are some of the stories we saw that led us to many questions. Questions we'd like to ask you in the form of our random question. This is how it works. You call us. We will ask you a question at complete random. And after you share your story, we will share with you the news story that inspired said question.
Be part of the big show on a random question. Call 844-999-OLA. You can like The Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send emails to themensroom@mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
All the Cholas, and away we go. Welcome to show number 2,839. What a large and in charge program do we have for you today? Your guess is as good as mine. Oh, man, what some these are tasty categories today.
Tasty.
We have tasty. We have, and they have nothing to do with food. We have American landmarks and the places where Americans go when they want to see a little Americana.
Okay.
Some of the more American, if someone would come here from another country, what are the things that they want to see? Because new survey says most Americans have not seen the majority of the national landmarks that we consider the biggest and the best ones.
Because we live here.
Right. Well,
you know how it
is,
is, man.
So, yeah. If you live close to one,
we'll do it next
chances
summer.
are you would have seen it. If not, you would never know. Where's Mount Rushmore?
North Dakota?
That was my guess.
I'm asking. I've never
think it's
been.
North Dakota.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
To be fair, the few people I know that have ventured that, like, no one, how do you say this? Mount Rushmore, I know maybe 5 people that have seen it. And none of those cases was it their final destination. It happened to be on the way to somewhere else.
Yeah.
But all of them were disappointed. They said it's just smaller than you think.
Okay. So American Landmarks, one of the categories. Also, the other category, Star Wars, which is very exciting, to say the least. Star Wars has finally made it to a category. On Your Guess is as good as mine. I think they're trying to update it for the younger generation. The people who write the
What are they
categories.
asking? Like, what is the category? I mean, like,
It's your favorite Star Wars characters.
Okay. All right.
Okay. That doesn't necessarily mean that Luke Skywalker even falls into the top 10.
Nobody likes them.
I'm just saying.
Nobody liked them.
Category is Star Wars. Ted, I know you're going to be fired up about that because your whole life you've been hearing about Star Wars, and still to this day you have not seen it.
Correct.
That is impressive.
I'm saying you'll get 8 out of 10 then. Because you won't overthink it. You're just going to go like, I've heard of this person, this.
I think if you ever watched it, you probably just think it sucked.
Yeah. You'd be let down. Don't even bother.
All this hype, all the talk, everything, like I really just don't think you'd like it.
Yeah, I don't want you to ever see it.
I just don't know.
now.
Right. I don't know if I want to see it. And then I had a big plan to see it a couple years ago. It fell through. So now I'm just going to
Don't. Man, just don't.
What was the big plan?
Just don't.
Were you going to do it on like some kind of drug
May
or
the
something?
4th?
No, my old landlord was going to come over and cook steaks, and we are going to watch it.
You wanted the steak.
What happened? He
Just I canceled once. He canceled once.
You guys ghosted on each other?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, no Star Wars.
No
All right,
Star
well,
Wars.
maybe that
Or
was
steaks.
maybe that was meant to be. Bummer. So, Star Wars and American Landmarks coming up with Your Guess is as good as mine. Also, we will review some Men's Room rules. Complete list of all the rules that you've helped make throughout the years is at mensroomlive.com. And every once in a while, we take a little time to put some new laws up for grabs there. So, Men's Room rules coming up, and Your Guess is as good as mine. We'll drink and toast with the shot of the day and profile this. And today is the day we do our random question. 844-999-OLA.
Random.
By the way, Mount Rushmore, South Dakota.
South Dakota.
All
See,
right,
we were
all right.
close.
Yeah.
I told you, never been there.
Thank you, everyone else in America. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, Michael. Let's go with this one. This is a good one. Who have people said that you look like, or maybe a part of you, or you resemble somebody famous, or who do people say you kind of look like?
Oh, man. Well, my name is Michael Scott, so sometimes I get, what's that guy from the 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Okay.
Steve Carell.
And the worst part is he wasn't even
Yeah.
it wasn't even, that's the wrong character, but right, same actor, different character.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Michael Scott was on The Office. Steve Carell was in 40-Year-Old Virgin. It's not the same character. So
Not too far
Well,
off.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Kind of
kinda
Al
close
Pacino
to being
thing,
the
right?
same character, but yeah.
Steve Carell's done a good job, though. Sometimes I forget he was on The Office.
yeah, he can branch out and do other things, but he plays someone weird best. Were you so you have the name Michael Scott, and then The Office debuts and it becomes this monster show. Like, does that instantly become a pain in your ass?
Yeah, because I've also never seen the show, so I get a lot of flack for that.
Is it a lot of the times like if someone is calling you, like if I'm calling you from your insurance company or something like that? I mean, is it the people who just see the name without seeing your face first that have to identify you by your name? Do they get
Crack
more
jokes
Yeah,
and
like
kinda-
when you go to the DMV, do they get more joy out of this than you do?
Yeah, to say the least. Well, that's my middle name, though, so my last name is Wheeler, so
Okay,
So,
that helps.
anytime
But
I mention my middle name, people are, Michael Scott?
see,
Okay.
the thing is, and if you do watch The Office, just understand this about the character. Everybody loves the character if you watch the show, but nobody wants to be that person, and nobody would want to be friends with that person, but you enjoy him. So trust me, he's not doing you any good.
Mm-hmm. Reason we asked, who do people say you look like? The cops saying, I want to say Waukesha, Wisconsin. Our friends at the Fox and Appleton, help me out on that one. Either way, they got into a high-speed chase with a woman last week. She was going 85 miles an hour through construction zones. She actually got away, but then she ditched the car, and she took off running. Now, the cops found a cell phone in the car belonging to a 37-year-old woman named Diana Warchol. They also found a receipt from Walgreens, and they reviewed the security footage from the store and saw a woman who looked like Deanna. But when they went to her house, she said it wasn't her. She said she'd driven her car to Walgreens. Yes, she'd left her cell phone in there, but no, she wasn't driving in the chase. She said someone who looks exactly like her must have stolen the car.
Must have.
And gotten into the chase with the cops. And she said it happens to her all the time.
Of course.
People always get her mixed up with this other mysterious woman. And for some reason, the cops didn't buy her doppelganger car thief theory, and Deanna was arrested and charged with attempting to flee and driving with a suspended license. She should get, or could get, 3.5 years in prison.
Is that the R. Kelly defense? Right. So years ago, he's on trial, and you think, all right, this is where we get him. All right, here is video of you doing at least some of the things you've been accused of, and they show this in court. And R. Kelly watches this, his lawyer watches this, and then he has to say something, and he's like, "Yeah, it's not me." Mm-hmm. And they're like, "But here's the video," and he's like,
Yeah, he said it was like his.
He said, it looks like me. Even I admit that.
I thought he said it was like his cousin or somebody.
But it's not me.
Yeah.
And she tries that like, yeah, it's, I know it looks like me, but it's not me. Speaking of doppelgangers and Mount Rushmore, okay, everyone, we now know Mount Rushmore is, in fact, in South Dakota. You can stop reminding us. Beyond that, they do agree it is small. The people here are responding saying, yeah, it is small. But, Miles, you'll remember this person, doppelganger. There was a woman in the old building that we used to work in, and she, and I'm not making this up, was a dead ringer for Thomas Jefferson.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, she looked like she stepped out of money and into reality.
Matter of fact, her nickname was Mount Rushmore.
No, Mount Rushmore is a woman who looked like Mount Rushmore.
Right, yes. But she looked like a small part of her mountain.
But remember the woman with the wet hair. She looked like she had the powder. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But she looked like Thomas Jefferson, and we're like, so here's the question,
She looked like if Thomas Jefferson and Prince had a kid.
If you're not trying to be insulting, but you do feel that someone looks like a historical figure, but it happens to be an entirely different gender, which in her case, you look exactly like Thomas Jefferson, right? And if it were a dude, I'd have told him that. But it's her, and I'm like, do you tell her? Is it rude?
Yeah, you can tell her that
if
she looks like a man.
If someone thought I look like Grace, I'm not saying you look like a man. You look like a very specific man, not in general.
Yeah, but Grace Slick looks more masculine than she does feminine. So
right, but if someone said, hey, man, you look like Grace Slick, but like, I can see that.
Okay, all
right.
You can't tell that woman she looks like Thomas Jefferson.
But she looked exactly like Thomas Jefferson, man. I mean, not even like a little bit.
Random.
So it is rude, then.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know. Yeah. I'm not sure, because you're not trying to be insulting. It's like you just happen to look like one of our forefathers. Hello, Brian. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Welcome to the program, Brian, and random question. Let's go with this one. Brian, what expensive thing would you own if someone else would just buy it for you? If someone else picked up the tab and you can have one expensive thing, what would you get that other people get to pay for? You don't have to pay a frickin' dime.
Ooh, I would have to say Kurt Cobain's guitar, the one that his daughter just got screwed over during the divorce settlement.
Now, would you want it just to own it, or would you want it just to play? Because I play bass. I'd love to have one of Flea's basses. The flip side is I would not play it, and therefore there's no point for me to have it.
But he would want you to.
Yeah, but it's just like for me, it's like, hey, man, I'm gobsmacked, as I said. But like, I would never want to own an instrument I know how to play that I refuse to play, if you know what I mean.
I get it. I mean, I own drums, but I don't know how to play drums.
Okay, well, that's a little different. Why do you own drums if you don't know how to play them? That's kind of an expensive thing to buy.
I just figured if I buy guitars, amps, basses, drums, all that, I could get my friends together and we could try and start a band. But they're all kind of lazy, and that didn't work out. So,
how old are you?
I am 22.
Okay, you got to stop, man. I mean, at this point, if they don't know how to play it, it's just not going to be good. Mm-hmm. But I like the spirit.
All right. Well, the reason we asked what expensive thing would you own if someone else would buy it for you, and the key here is that someone else is going to buy it for you. Jesse Duplantis, who is a gospel televangelist with a global reach, is asking his disciples for money to buy a jet that costs how much money? What kind of private jet do you think you need?
I don't know how much a private $10 million.
I'm not in the.
Probably like 4 or 5.
$4 or $5 million.
Yeah.
So you could get a Lear jet for $4 or $5 million. I'm guessing.
It might be Lear with 3 E's.
All right. He's asking his disciples to help him buy a jet that costs $54 million.
Oh.
This way, he can go anywhere in the world in one stop. So God doesn't do layovers, just in case you were wondering.
A lot of airlines
direct flights. That's amazing. What a deal. He says he's seeking the donations in a video that he put on the ministry's website. He says, quote, I really believe that if the Lord Jesus was physically on the earth today, he would not be riding a donkey. He'd be in an airplane.
He'd be in a Prius.
Flying all over the world. He says that his 40-year-old ministries that he's been championing has paid cash for 3 private jets and has been, quote, just burning them up for the Lord Jesus Christ. The most recent purchase was in 2006. Now he has his sights set on the Dassault Falcon 7X, a 3-engine jet with a range of almost 6,000 nautical miles. Its custom cabins accommodate 12 to 16 passengers.
Well, sure, you have your 12 disciples.
54.
And again, he's basing this on what Jesus would do, so he would have room for everyone at the Last Supper.
He wants everyone to pray about becoming a partner into this jet.
A partner.
Yes,
You're a partner.
It must be noted that one thing has happened here recently. He's kind of got a Keeping Up with the Joneses thing going on with another televangelist in Texas. His name is Kenneth Copeland.
Okay.
And he just bought a Gulfstream V, which carries a price tag of $36 million. And he got his gospel to pay for that one. So now,
I see.
Jesse says, look, if Kenny can get a $36 million Gulfstream V, then surely God will let me pull off a $54 million Dassault Falcon 7X. Hallelujah.
That's what Jesus would fly. That's a well-documented fact, by the way.
Random question, 844-999-OLA.
Random.
Hello, Michelle. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
All right, Michelle.
She's nothing to you, Miles.
Yeah, I guess not.
Nothing.
Jeez, a whiz.
Hola.
Hola. All right, let's go with this one. Since you're so talkative. When did you see Wang, or nudity from a male, unexpectedly? When did you see naked man?
You're talking about a co-worker?
Anything.
I saw him earlier today.
I turned the corner like, oh, God, I didn't even see that.
Now you're bringing horrible pictures back to my head. I walked into my parents having sex.
Oh, no. How old were you?
I was 6. It was horrible.
You were 6 years old, and how much could you see, or did you close your eyes and turn away, or did you stare?
I wasn't sure what he was doing to her, and I yelled at him, and he flipped over to tell me to leave the room, so I saw the whole thing.
Oh, you saw the whole thing?
Oh. You haven't seen Unexpected Penis since then, since you were 6? And that's a good run.
Yeah, but that's also the most memorable. You know what I mean? Of all the penis you're going to see, I just feel like my father's, sadly, will be the one that probably burns
Quality
itself
run
in my
of
brain.
unexpected penis.
Yeah.
What did you say? Stop. What did you tell Daddy to stop doing to Mommy? Do you remember that? The quote?
I said quit hurting her.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he was on top.
He was.
And what were the covers up?
Back too.
So his ass is bouncing up and down. You think that they get naked and hurt each other. He turns around. I guess he's at full staff. Like, get the hell out of the room.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Did they explain to you later what it was? Did they at least say, hey, I was not hurting your mom. We were just making the beast with two backs?
No, they never said a word about it ever.
I would at least feel the
Did they?
need to have to explain to my kid, like, look, I wasn't hurting anyone. Mm-hmm. Quite the opposite.
Reason we asked, when did you see the Wang there? Unexpectedly. Stephen Brazil was arrested last month for failing to register as a sex offender, but he bonded out of jail and was arrested again on Saturday by the Tulsa Police Department. He was wanted for walking around naked in the Woodlands, and he's been arrested in Oklahoma, and he will be extradited back to face more charges in Texas. He was arrested last month for failing to register as a sex offender, and then on Saturday, they found him walking around a clothing store in the Woodlands completely naked. He was also accused of exposing himself at a TJ Maxx in Shenandoah and at the Kirkland's or the Costco in Oak Ridge. Completely naked.
Yeah,
He does not walk into the place with his genitals exposed. He walks into these places and starts shopping completely naked and then walks out.
I mean, I just feel like there should be a different registry you're on. All right. So you say sex offending, like, he's not going to do anything, but the guy's going to be naked. Like, whatever it is, like exposure registry, like, he's not going to touch you. He's not going to do anything, but you're going to, if you see this guy.
Still be on there, though, because there's a lot of people that like to be naked. And they go to communities or stuff like that. Like, he's taking it to the next level.
I'm
going
saying
to crowd of places.
He should register as something. He should register as something. I just don't feel like sex offenders
But even nudists should know who this guy is. You know what I'm saying?
Like, nudists go where nudists go. Like, he's making it, like, because he has to go in public, it makes it sexual.
Other people need to see.
Okay, for him then. Like, so if you get sexual gratification out of it,
Yeah, well, the thing is,
Well, if
is
that's
that
the case,
if I go to a nudist colony, we've all agreed that we get to see each other's naked.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Now, if I'm at the TJ Maxx, I haven't agreed that I want to see you right now naked.
yeah, I agree. There should be a different registry.
right.
Thank God they got a lot of coats in there.
Right, like
Cover
I'm here to
everything up.
buy hot dogs. Not see them.
He's their mascot.
Do you think they grill hot dogs at nudist colonies?
Yeah, of
Do
course.
they?
That's
Okay.
a big, easy one. That's,
Jeez.
What do you mean a big easy one?
Come on,
I'm
man.
saying as opposed to like frying something or
Yeah, but the
cooking
grill-
spaghetti sauce naked.
I don't want to be weighing
I
out
don't
at the
know.
grill, man.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
I think I could flip burgers naked.
If you'd like to be a part of the random question,
do it.
question 844-999-OLA. More your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Still to come, your guess is as good as mine. The category Star Wars and American landmarks. We'll play Your Guess is as good as mine right after emails on our random question 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Sal. Welcome to the men's room.
Random.
Hola, dinosaurs.
Hola, Sal.
What's up, Sal?
Sal,
How you doing, guys?
we're doing good, man. How old have you been on this planet?
I just turned 40 last week.
Nice. Okay, have you done a lot of traveling in your lifetime?
Oh, yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
I did. I was in the Air Force 20 years, so to
Oh,
30
damn.
countries.
Okay,
All
this
seven
is,
continents.
you were the right man then for this one. What would you say in your lifetime has been your most epic meal? Your most epic
man.
meal of all time. I mean,
It had to be. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, I couldn't, this would be like picking my favorite song, my favorite band.
Simple.
There's easy going to be 10 that I could put into a group, but I mean.
Outback Steakhouse in Sydney,
Right,
Australia.
exactly. I mean,
there's nothing like
a
it.
bloomin' onion overlooking the harbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say McDonald's fish sandwich, but I'd be lying.
Yeah.
I went to Suda Bay, Greece, and we landed there, and the crew had never been there before, and so they knew I'd been there before, and I was like, I have a perfect place to take us. And I got really, really, really drunk, and I made a bad choice. There was one meal that didn't have a price next to it, and it was amazing. There was, lobster, shrimp. It was epic. And then after I was done, I got the bill, and it was about €220.
That's like, what,
And
$400, $420?
Yeah, it was expensive. They took a picture of me when I got the price of it because I was like, oh my gosh, they not.
With your mouth-
I really got
with
the
your-
lobster from Maine.
With your mouth wide open.
so-
Yeah, no, that always happens. You know,
Well, let me ask you this. In retrospect, now that you've paid it off, and obviously that's a ridiculous amount of money, but was it worth it?
No, I had to say no, it wasn't. I mean, it was the comedy value of it made it pretty funny, and that made it a memorable story. But the seafood wasn't that epic. I mean, living in Pacific Northwest, we have amazing seafood here, so I wasn't aiming. When I get joked about, they probably got the lobster from Maine.
we have great quality
Yeah.
seafood.
Right.
I mean, the
Don't do
quality is
anything to it,
unbelievable. I mean, look, I was in Huntington Beach, California, at an oyster house. The oysters were all from here. They were all fresher and cheaper somehow than they are when we get them here. I don't know what in the hell happened. They were cheaper price point wise in Huntington Beach, California.
Dude, I ate some Northwest oysters in Boston like a year ago.
Right. And they're cheaper than they are here. And
What
they're
the
so
hell is
high.
going on?
I don't know. It's unbelievable.
Because we don't get that discount
Yeah, exactly.
if you fly.
Like- No,
listen,
no.
if
Because they
you're
ship
listening
everything
to-
out. It's like coffee.
I
My buddy
know,
lives in
but-
Columbia. He said the coffee is horrible.
But listen,
because they ship out all the real coffee.
if you're listening to AFF, send us some lobster. Because
Yeah,
when
we'll
we
take
buy
it.
lobster here, we don't get that strange markdown that Northwest Seafood seems to get everywhere else.
The reason we asked what was your epic meal, we go to New Orleans and Acme Oyster House. Now, Acme Oyster House has some of the best
Yes.
charbroiled oysters you will ever eat in your life. However, the chicken wings are phenomenal. And I know that sounds, why in the hell would you want to get chicken wings?
Because they have them.
Because they're freaking unbelievable. Anyway, they had their World Championship of Oyster Eating Contest that took place at Woolenberg Park, and competitors had 8 minutes to eat as many oysters as they could. So you've got 8 minutes, you've got oysters. How many does the winner eat?
Man, that's
He's a new champion.
Sorry, hang on. So 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
480 minutes. I'm going to say 960. I'm going to say he ate 2 oysters a minute. One every.
Oh, boy. Do it by the dozen, because then I
Oh,
would have to
no.
do math. How many dozen oysters in 8 minutes?
25.
Higher.
30.
Higher.
I'm going to say 40.
40 dozen oysters.
Oh, it's right on. All
Guy's
right.
name is Darren Breeden. He's from Virginia.
Oh.
And this was his
I'm not
first
even
time.
loving oyster.
This is the first time ever competing in the Acme Oyster House Oyster Eating World Championships. He ate 480 oysters.
Jeez.
I didn't really have a technique. I just slurped and slurped, rinse and repeat. He beat third-place winner, Louisiana's own Adrian the Rabbit Morgan. You thought the Rabbit was going to take it this year. He was 2016 champion.
I lost money on you, man.
And then in second place was last year's champion. That'd be Michelle Lesko from Arizona. She ate 27 dozen oysters this year. So he pretty well cleaned up on this. He says, I'm a little bummed because I know that it's as fast as I could have done. So she realizes that for the most part, she's going to have to eat a whole lot more to be able to catch up with the first place winner. Any idea what the cash prize is? And by the way, much like golf or tennis or whatever, where you win a tournament and you get to play in other tournaments, this does qualify him for
the Nathan's hot dog eating championship.
Exactly.
I did not realize that this was that well coordinated. I didn't you have different.
Yeah.
Well, it's like MMA, right? So Brazilian jiu-jitsu, things I can't pronounce, kung fu, judo, wrestling, whatever. But inevitably, you all meet. And so you're saying, this is a professional hot dog guy. Yeah. This is oyster guy.
How much
you can
money?
qualify for Nathan's. You can also just win an event like that. So it's we got to have the top chicken wing eater there.
Well, that's what I mean. So if I'm not trying to compete for Nathan's, but I've won what this guy won. Does Nathan's contact me to let me know, hey, man, just so you know, you are a shoo-in to be here. There's a space available for you.
I think it all falls under the umbrella of the
competitive eating.
So the chicken wing competition in Philadelphia and all these other competitions, they all kind of have a hand in whether you. So if I win Nathan's, I probably have a pass to the wing eating contest if I want to take it.
Oh wait, is Nathan's the reset?
Contact.
Do we all compete to get to Nathan? You know what I mean?
Nathan's like the coup d'etat.
Sure,
right?
that's what I mean. That's the Super Bowl. That's where
the
I want
Everest
to
of the eating world.
Right. So there's a bunch of other chicken wings. One, I don't know if the one in Philadelphia is the main qualifier, but they
there
have
is one.
There's a event or something that makes you that person.
Okay, look, and
it probably is that wing one though.
I hate doing research, and I'm not big on fantasy sports, but knowing that the Fed is now going to be cool with sports betting, all right. I'm saying, in the world of competitive, we all pick who we think our horse is going to be, because I don't know all the events to get there, right? Like if you say this guy has been the chicken wing eating god for the last 3 years, maybe I put my money on this guy that when he goes to Nathan's, much like the Triple Crown, I'm putting my money on this guy and see who gets closest. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's the best way to make any money because the winner, this guy from Virginia who won the damn thing, Darren Breeden, he won only $1,000.
Right.
So ultimately, if you think you can win, it probably behoove you to get your brother and everybody to drop $5,000 on you so you can make some money because you're not making any with the grand prize.
But see, I feel like with oysters, and follow me on this, with oysters, I feel like you should get less than hot dogs because oysters, they're easier to get. You don't have to chew them. You literally open your throat and oysters down there, all right? I understand why the Acme don't change a thing. That's a $1,000 thing. If I'm eating hot dogs with chewing, I got to dip it in what?
Oh, you do.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to get the bun compressed.
That's worth more money, man. Yep. Sorry. I stand firmly behind Acme.
If you'd like to be a part of our random question 844-999 Ola, more of your calls coming up here in just a couple seconds.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.